Some games are true masterpieces, but don't make much money. Let's talk about 10 games that didn't sell well, but are totally worth your time. 1. Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy was an exceptionally fun game that did everything right. It had the film's humor, witty dialogue, awesome gameplay, and the gunplay felt great. So where did it go wrong? Well, it didn't, not really. It was actually Marvel's Avengers game before this that pushed players away. That game didn't do so well, and fans lost interest in Marvel games. So Guardians of the Galaxy suffered from bad timing, but it didn't die completely. The game was so good that players and critics started recommending it. Over time, it gained more attention and slowly increased its sales. Even if you're not a Marvel fan, you should still try this game. It's a hidden gem.
2. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Splinter Cell has given us some of the best stealth action games ever made. Most of the titles were both popular and successful, but Blacklist couldn't reach that level. It wasn't a bad game, it was just very different from the others in the series. The game added more action elements to attract a bigger audience, but this upset longtime fans who loved its pure stealth style. There were also more daylight missions, which felt strange. The action-heavy gameplay made it feel like it was trying to copy Call of Duty. On top of that, Ubisoft replaced Michael Ironside, the original voice of Sam Fisher, and this caused more controversy. Even though the game sold over 2 million copies, it was still seen as a failure by Ubisoft. But that doesn't mean it was a bad game. It received great reviews and gave fans a new way to see Sam Fisher. I personally loved it and would recommend it to any stealth action fan.
3. Alpha Protocol. There's a good chance you haven't heard of Alpha Protocol, and I don't blame you. It's a third-person action RPG made by Obsidian, with decisions that changed the story. The game was very ambitious, maybe too much. It released with a lot of bugs, which made it hard to enjoy both the story and the combat. The shooting wasn't great either. The gunplay relied on dice roll stats, which players didn't like. But over time, more people have discovered the game, thanks to YouTubers who talked about it. Now, let's be honest. This game is not for everyone. If you play like a Call of Duty fan, you'll be frustrated, you'll miss your shots, and enemies won't die easily unless you level up properly. But the game's strongest part is the story and the choices. Every decision you make affects the gameplay. Kill someone, you lose intel. Spare them, you may get help later. It's a game that rewards thinking and planning, and because of that, Alpha Protocol has become a cult classic.
4. Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive is a hidden gem that deserved more love. It had bright visuals, fast combat, funny moments, and a huge open world. But it had problems too. First, it was only on Xbox One, which didn't sell well. Second, it had very little marketing, so not many people knew about it. Because of that, the game didn't get the attention it deserved. Still, the people who did play it absolutely loved it. Even today, it's a fun, wild, and colorful adventure. If you like single-player games with lots of energy, give this one a try. 5. Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation is well known among horror fans. It's one of the most tense and scary games ever made. It sold 2 million copies in its first year, and still, Sega called it a failure. Why? Because their sales expectations were too high. This game was slow, scary, and quiet, not like the usual AAA action games. Some reviewers even called it too long or repetitive, but fans loved it. The game captured the 1979 Alien movie perfectly, from the look to the sound. The alien was smart, the stealth gameplay was intense, and the whole thing kept you on edge. It might not have been a big hit in sales, but among horror lovers, Alien Isolation is a modern classic.
Spec Ops. The Line is one of the best story-based shooters ever made, but sadly, it didn't sell well. One big reason was its marketing. It looked like a normal army shooter, like Call of Duty, but it was much more than that. The story was serious, deep, and even disturbing at times. It wasn't something you just played for fun. The game had heavy themes, emotional moments, and a story that made you think. But since it came out at a time when players were busy with big titles like Battlefield and Call of Duty, it got ignored. Still, those who played it will tell you it's unforgettable. 7. Immortals of AVEUM. You've probably heard of Immortals of AVEUM. It looked cool before launch, like a magical Call of Duty, but it didn't do well. Right after its release, EA laid off half of the studio. They said the market was too crowded. Some people believe the game failed because it was a new idea. A single-player magic shooter is hard to sell in today's world. But the game itself is very good. The shooting is fast, the graphics are beautiful, and the story has real heart. It's one of those games that didn't get what it deserved. And if you like trying something different, you should give it a shot.
8. Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is easily one of the best FPS games of all time. It had amazing shooting, smooth movement, and giant mechs. The story mode was also brilliant, but it failed because of one reason: bad timing. EA released Titanfall 2 in the same month as Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, so it got crushed between the big giants. Players didn't even notice it. That's why it sold poorly. But now, many people are calling it one of the best shooters ever. If you missed it, now is the time to play it.
9. Prey 2017. Prey is a smart, scary, and deep sci-fi game. It mixes horror, puzzle solving, and exploration. But even though it was well made, it failed in sales. It sold 60% less than Arcane's earlier game, Dishonored 2. The reason is not simple. Prey was not a sequel, so it didn't have a strong fan base. It also took time to get into, and many people didn't give it a chance. But if you stay with it, Prey offers a rich world, great design, and freedom to play your way. It's one of the best immersive games out there.
Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is a top-tier RPG loved for its story, world, and player choices. But before launch, it had a bad pre-order system that made people angry. Even though they canceled it, the damage was done. Also, the game released with an unfinished story. It ended suddenly and clearly saved content for future DLCs. Fans felt cheated, and many lost trust in the series. But after patches and DLCs, the game got better. If you play it now and take your time with side missions, you'll see how deep and rewarding it is. It's definitely worth your time.